Start recording. Yeah, new symbols, French symbols. Good afternoon, everyone. We're having our revision class this day. And according to how it goes, we will keep having Friday classes until you think it's not necessary anymore. Like, I am required to give you classes basically until the second semester exam. But of course, we can still have all the classes that you need in order to prepare yourself for the final exam. Okay, and that is precisely what we're going to do today. We're going to have you are going to get feedback from the second semester exam, because that's what you asked for. Okay, so let me show you the semester exam, which you know already. Okay, and please let me know. I cannot see you. I can only see the exam. So let me know when you can see it.
We can.
Okay, super. So let's start with this. The very first part was reading transcriptions. Remember, reading is super important. So is anyone, I need a volunteer now to read the transcriptions, please. The one that said we can.
I can,
Okay.
but let me go outside because there's a lot of noise in my house right now.
Okay, super.
Okay, I'm outside right now. I'm
All right.
outside now. Concerning or involving the discrimination of non-distinctive elements of a language. In English, certain phonological features as length and aspiration are phonetic but not phonemic.
Excellent. Really, really good. Very well pronounced. Super. Okay, does anyone have any question regarding this exercise, reading exercise? Or did anyone have problems with specific words? Usually the short words are problematic, like the word or, which is normally transcribed o, so is the tense low back vowel, the o sound, plus the r. But in the exercise is a rhotic schwa. Why do you think it is like that?
Maybe it is another accent besides American?
No, good try though, but no.
Because that's how they pronounce it when they speak fast.
Uh,
Concerning her.
yes, but did you know there is a phonological rule for that?
Oh, isn't it A plus R and then like
No,
the vowels with the R?
no. In allophonic variations, we saw, and let me admit someone is coming. Who is coming? Familiar this. In more allophonic variations, we saw that the very first allophonic variation is called vowel reduction. So words or let me see, symbols like or, they become reduced to schwa. Let me show you. Oh, this is so boring to do this. I need a faster way of doing this. Here it is. Okay, and the length as well. Need to look. Can you see all the symbols there? Remember, I cannot see what you write. I can only hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can. Very good. Here is the. Okay, So, or. Okay, this is the proper pronunciation of the, what is or? A conjugation. Okay, not conjugation, conjunction. Okay, that's grammar, Mr. Carvalho. Or is a conjunction. Okay, but normally, as someone said, pointed out, when people speak, they make it faster. They do it faster, and this or pronunciation becomes instead. So it just sounds as rhotic schwa. This happens, this phenomenon, phonological phenomenon, occurs with many other words. Example, the word can. I think I explained this to you already. The word can has a weak and a strong form. Where is the schwa? You look for the schwa now. My favorite sound, the schwa. Be patient, please. Here it is. Remember, or if I didn't teach you this, listen to this. In a conversation, let me do it here. In a conversation, this one is a weak form, and this one is a strong form. So the first one, can you swim, is pronounced like this. And the second one, yes, I can, is pronounced like this. Okay. So sometimes you can not hear the schwa, even not hear the schwa, and you can only hear, where is the symbol for this? Here. This is a syllabic consonant, so you can only hear kun, kun. Can you swim? Yes, I can. Can you swim? Can you swim? Yes, I can. Okay. So this phonological phenomenon applies to many other words. Okay, so how will you know? This is an interesting question. How will you know which words will be weak and which words will be strong? Does anyone know the answer to this question? This is even an exam question. I like it. What do you think? Thinking. Now you can write in the chat if you want, or talk. How will you know which words become weak and which words are always strong? No idea, nothing. Nope. Okay, I'll tell you the answer then. Blank. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. This is totally related to Mr. Carvalho's class. Okay. There are two types of words. Let's have a grammar class. Okay, but they keep coming. Okay. Passive voice, no. Tone, no. Listen, grammar class. There are two different categories, word categories or word classes. Yes. One of them is called open class or content words, and the other is called closed class or function words. Did you study that with Professor Carvalho? Say yes or no. Open classes, closed classes, content words, function words. Nope, not yet. Okay, now that you remember. Okay. Anyways, I'll tell you. So these open classes, content words, are verbs, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, the popular types of words. Okay? Verbs, nouns, adjectives, adverbs are called adverbs. They belong to the category of content words or open class words. While there is another category called function words or closed class, and there you have articles, you have prepositions, you have pronouns, what else? Conjunctions, interjections, etc. Okay, these belong to the function word closed. Now there is a super strong tendency for function words to become reduced to schwa. Okay, so we can say then that there are important words like verbs, nouns, adjectives, and there are more inferior words like prepositions, pronouns. They are secondary in their function, let's say. So these secondary words are the ones that become reduced to schwa. Okay, that's why when we transcribe the article the, is always the plus a schwa, the. Non-native speaker of English say the with an e. Yes, it's the. All right, and this happens to all these word classes. They have this strong tendency to become reduced to schwa. That's why or is just in the transcription concerning or like that, concerning or involving the discrimination. Notice this. Is a conjunction, so it's reduced to a schwa. The is an article, reduced to schwa. Of is a preposition, is reduced to schwa. Okay, this adverbial non could be reduced to schwa as well. Okay, so that's the tendency. Very good. Shall I move on now? Can we go to part 2? No objection? You're a tough audience. Okay, I'll move on then. Part 2. Simplified formal rule notation. A says, state that in plain English what the following phonological rule does. And you may use other sheet for your answers. Notice that I used an exam from previous years, and this was I didn't even erase this. Yes, you may use the other sheets for your answers. Okay, so I didn't update it to a virtual form. Anyways, so state in plain English. Can anyone tell me what this formula says?
Can I try?
Yes, please.
A consonant becomes voice in the phonological environment of in-between vowels.
Excellent. Super. That is enough. You don't need to add anything else. It's like that. It's just perfect. Okay. Is there a synonym for in between vowels?
Intervocalic position.
Excellent. So you could write like that too. Notice that then there is no fixed answer. I need to read every single student's answers because there are different ways of writing the formula. Okay? So it's not subjective at all. The second one, you need to do the opposite. The phoneme B, so I need to write this. Okay, let me erase this like this. Okay, and then becomes. So I write this. Voiceless. So here I have two options. I can write like this. This is a voiceless B. The voiceless version of B is this one. Why? Because B is voiced and P is voiceless. You could write like this, or you could write no voice. Like this as well. Either way is correct. In the environment preceding another consonant which is voiceless. So preceding means before. Before this voiceless consonant, like this. So remember, the rayita is super, super important because it tells you if it is preceding or following something. Very, very important part. Then there is a comma and it says fricative. So another one here, it also becomes fricative. You could write like this, or if you want, you could write like this. This is a fricative B. Why? Because it went through the process of spirantization. So it becomes more fricative. B. It's not B, it's V. V. There is friction there. Okay, but I will need to use only one of them. So it says fricative in intervocalic position. So be like this, in intervocalic position. And so there is a third option. Disappears, so I need to use the 0 symbol, which of course is not here. I need to look for it here. Disappears. Where? In which phonological environment? In word final position. So there you go. The phoneme B or voice bilabial stop becomes voiceless in the environment preceding another consonant, which is voiceless, fricative in intervocalic position, and disappears in word final position. Like this is what you were supposed to write. So if you did it, good for you. You totally rule. Let me color it because I like colors. There you go.
Professor?
Yes.
I put the 0 in between brackets. Is that wrong?
Well, the thing is that there is no phoneme or allophone which is mute. Okay, so technically it is wrong. Like I wouldn't take away points from that, but it is technically wrong. Yes. Is there any other question? That was a really good question.
Professor?
Yes.
Isn't that word initial position?
No, this is word final position. The initial position is marked like this. What am I doing? There, like this. See? So notice how easily we can get confused. Initial versus final. It's just the position of the rayita, the underscore. See? Any other question? Do you feel that doing this kind of feedback really helps to learn more?
In my case, it does because if I made a mistake, then I'm learning from my mistake. So
Ex-
I am probably not likely to commit that mistake again.
Super. Maria Isabel Casuriaga, yes, the fricative can be beta, that Greek symbol. Yes, it can. I mean, there are many other, there are, not the irony here. This is the International Phonetic Association, but there are many versions of their alphabet. The objective was to have a unified version. There are many again, because we have many fonts, so we have many alphabets. Silly, so silly. Yes, someone raised their hand. I don't know.
Yes, me.
I was in. Yes.
Yes. Regarding the use of the little arrows, is it okay if we use it once, or do we have to like put it every time the B turns into something else?
You need to use the arrow always. You always need to use the arrow. Is that your question? I didn't.
No, not really. I meant because I put 3 arrows, like one for the first rule, one for the second rule, and one for the third rule, and I don't know if that's incorrect.
It's not frequent, but I wouldn't say it is incorrect. It's just not frequent. Like, you don't see that in linguistic textbooks. Only that. So it's nothing. Like, it's I think it's clear, right? You wanted to make it very clear that there were 3 different allophones of the same phoneme. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I took notes and I have like the arrow means something becomes something.
Right. So it becomes this, and it becomes this too. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. So in German, yeah, in German language, yeah, they use this a lot. Very good. Can you hear the heladero passing passing by my house? Professor, if the B is located in the middle, it's wrong. If the B is located in the middle, it's wrong. I don't quite get what you are asking. If it is located in the middle, this B, I don't understand the question.
I think she means in the middle of the 3 rules. Instead of putting it up there, you put it
Oh,
in the middle.
that is much more organized. Yes, and it's symmetric. So for perfectionists, be my guest. Do it. No, don't be sorry, Johnny. Come on. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's in theory, in order to be organized, let's say, it should be in the middle. Yeah. Very good. Any other thing regarding part 2? Nothing? Let's go to part 3 then. Part 3 says, provide both the phonemic and phonetic transcription for an English sentence of your choice, at least 4 words in length, in English. Okay. One of you had a problem when I did this in the previous exam, and they did the same thing. I am not asking for 4 sentences. I am asking for 4 words. The sentence must have 4 words. Okay. So if you did 4 sentences, this is not what I wanted, but I chose one of those sentences. Okay. Do you remember? Can anyone tell me one that you want to check? One sentence that you would like to check. You want me to do it and you want to check. Do you remember your sentence? Like an echo in the forest. Okay, that is not a sentence, Monica. That is a phrase. Okay, so let's try another one. Wow, Agostina. Okay, Sufjan Stevens is the best singer in the world. Singer in the world. Sufjan. Sufjan. That's her. Is it his or her name first? Sorry, I'm an old person. His. Okay. It's a guy then, Sufjan Stevens. And where is he from?
He's from the US.
All right. Okay. And he's the best singer in the world. Very good. Okay. Let me check then. Sufjan Stevens is the best singer in the world. Okay, Agostina. So because I had to teach you step by step transcriptions, how to write transcriptions. And first I taught you the basics and then we went into deeper things. Very good. So when we started doing phonetic transcriptions, then everything went there. Nasalization, aspiration, all the allophonic variations, plus the suprasegmentals again, juncture, tone. Yes. So even stress must go there. Okay. So normally, among linguists, phonemic transcriptions show the pronunciation, the correct pronunciation, the ideal pronunciation, and they don't show the stress mark. They just show the stress mark in the phonetic transcription. But if you go to any online dictionary, you will find stress marks in phonemic transcription. Okay, so they totally mess up with the linguists. So linguists and dictionary makers, we don't agree with each other. We don't like each other. Okay, so yes, apart from that, let me see. Sufjan Stevens is the best singer in the world. Juncture goes down. There is tone in appropriate words like su, best, and world. Very appropriate place for writing the tone and the stress marks. You use nasalization whenever necessary and everything. So very well done. World with a black L, a dark L as well. So all the chiches together. Super, excellent, very well done. And it has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. Wow, very good.
Thank you. Just one question again, because it wasn't really clear. So in phonemic transcriptions, we do not use the stress.
No, not anymore. Like at the beginning, I used them because I needed to show you, but not anymore.
Oh,
now we use everything.
I didn't know that.
Okay, good thing that we're doing this then.
Yeah, this is really, really helpful.
Yeah. I'm not sure why we didn't do this in the first semester exam. But anyway, we're here. So the reason why I ask for at least 4 words is that in the past, I would say, write a sentence of your choice, and the sentences were like, I am. Did you know that I am is a full sentence already? So no, I needed to evaluate. The idea is for me to evaluate how much you know. So I needed more data. Very good. So this was part 3. Now let's go to part 4. Part 4, true, false. Okay, this has to do with theory. Okay, Number 1, prosodic features. Overuse of tone 1 in English indicates lack of interest. Is that true or false? Can anyone answer?
True.
Yes, but you say true with a question mark in the end, so true, right? It is true. So that's why whenever we speak English, we're supposed to emulate them, because if we use tone 1, which is normal in Spanish, then there is a conflict there. Okay, so we need to be kind of over enthusiastic when we speak English. Number 2, in the environments where two phonemes do not contrast means what? That there is no change in meaning. That is, do not contrast. The contrast is said to be what? Velarized. And the answer to this was in one of the readings of the textbook and also in the manual. So I was thinking, when did I teach you this? And I don't remember when I taught you this specific part. But then I went to the assignments, reading assignments, and I said, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay, so that question belongs to one of the reading assignments. Who has the answer to that? This was the most difficult one, apparently. False. It's complementary distribution. In the environments where two phonemes do not contrast, the contrast is said to be yes. Very good. False, and the contrast is said to be in complementary distribution. So we're talking about phonemes then. So they do not contrast. So what is the contrast then? The contrast is complementary distribution. For example, aspiration and not aspiration. They contrast, but they do not contrast in meaning. So they are in complementary distribution. Very good. Yes, this is the correct. Yes.
Allophones?
The contrast is said to be allophones.
No, I mean, you said that if they do not contrast, then they are phonemes. Wouldn't they be
Yes.
allophones?
No. Let me wait. In where do not contrast. Do not change the meaning. No. Wait. Hold on. In environments where two phonemes do not change the meaning, the contrast is said to be okay, yes. Okay, remember my previous explanation. I said, when did I teach you this? I don't remember. It was in the assigned reading, etc. Yes. We did talk about complementary distribution in the classes, so it's not complementary distribution because it says that the phonemes do not contrast. Okay, let me explain this. This is a phonological phenomenon and it's very unusual. It doesn't frequently occur. Okay. Two phonemes do not contrast. How is that possible? P and B do not contrast. They do not change the meaning. Are they phonemes? They must be allophones if they do not contrast. They are still phonemes. So, what is that? Two phonemes that behave like allophones then. Two phonemes that do not change the meaning. That is super weird. Okay. The phonological phenomenon that before I'm telling you the answer, I need to give you examples, and I will give you examples in Spanish. Notice there are two words in Spanish. The first word is pan, and the second word is pam. Okay. The N is one phoneme and the M is another phoneme. But in this very case, pan and pam, they do not contrast in meaning. If I pronounce pan or if I pronounce pam, and believe me, there are people who pronounce pam, then there is no contrast in meaning. This is a phenomenon because two phonemes do not function as phonemes. They are supposed to change the meaning. Another example, por and por. Okay, the R and the R are two separate phonemes in Spanish, but yet if I pronounce por or por, there is no contrast in meaning, so they don't work as phonemes. Therefore, when linguists saw this phenomenon, they came up with a name to name this phenomenon, and it's called neutralization. The two phonemes are said to be neutralized. They neutralize each other. There is no change in meaning. The answer then is neutralization. Where is my Word document? Here. Neutralization. This is in the manual and also in the textbook, so please read more about this. Neutralization, then. That is the technical term that describes the phenomenon. Number 3, the word education is an example of progressive assimilation. The sound D becomes J. Again, if you watch the video when I taught you assimilation, then probably I did not mention progressive or regressive, but this is covered in the manual, in the textbook. You need to read those as well. I will not evaluate just what I say because you need to read theory. All right, so what is progressive and what is regressive? Because in number 5 you have regressive. Progressive means going towards the right. Let me show you with an example. This is supposedly an arrow. Let me draw it better. There. This is an arrow. The arrow goes to the right, like this. Okay? That is called progressive assimilation. When here are the conflictive word sounds. Education. Let me show you. Okay. In theory, this word must be pronounced education. This must be the correct pronunciation. Education. But because the U, the high back vowel, is super strong, then it forces the weak alveolar sound to become palatal. Okay. So, does the change occur from the D to the U and the U is modified, or is it from the U to the D and the D is modified? Which one is it? Do we all got that one wrong then? Okay, wait, parenthesis. Maria Isabel Casuriaga, do we all got that one wrong then? Does that mean that nobody read the manual or the textbook? You only have what I give you, which is 1 hour on
Professor?
Friday? Yes.
I think that we all put that it was an example of not
Complementary assimilation.
of palatalization, actually.
Palatalization.
Yeah, but it is regressive assimilation because
It
the
is
G comes
false.
before the U.
It is false and it's not progressive. That's what I know. Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted you to know, that it's not progressive, is regressive. Yes. If you say palatalization, I might consider it still. But what I want is you to know the difference between progressive and regressive. That's what I wanted. Josué says it's regressive, and he is totally right. Okay. So this one, the U forces the D changes. So it's regressive then. It goes backwards. It goes back. That's why it's regressive. Okay. I think it was a really good idea that you asked me to do this. Number 4, the voiceless bilabial stop sound can become aspirated. First, we need to know what the voiceless bilabial stop sound is, and it's this one. Can this become aspirated? Yes, very good, Joel. So the answer is true. Yes, it is true. Super. Number 5, an example of regressive assimilation is the nasal Spanish consonant in final position, archiphoneme and beso. So, the B and the M. The B remains exactly the same. The N changes into an M. Is this regressive? True. Yes, it is, because it goes that way, right? The B forces the N to change into an M. And people, well, like we pronounce it like that. We say, dame un beso, un beso. So the N is preparing itself for the next sound, which is a B. So un beso. O tráeme un pan. Okay. Very few people say un pan. It's very difficult to pronounce. O un beso. It's super difficult. So un beso, much easier. All right. So this is an example of regressive assimilation. It is true.
Professor, one question.
Yes.
What about bilabial assimilation?
It is bilabial assimilation, yes. But
Okay.
is it regressive or progressive? It's regressive, and it is bilabial assimilation. Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
The thing is that if I correct this and say, no, it is not regressive, it's bilabial assimilation, then it might be wrong because it is regressive too. See? That's how it works. So any questions regarding this part 4? True, false? Let's go to this one, multiple choice. A minimal pair consists of 2 identical words that differ exactly in one phoneme. This is the answer. It cannot be one allophone or several phonemes because it's not a minimal anymore and not a pair anymore, probably. Yes, it will still be a pair, but not minimal. It will be subminimal. Okay. Number 7. Please stop me if you need me to answer question. Concerning phonological assimilation rules, a person who speaks Portuguese. This was the funny one, or the no, the picky-nicky thing. It was the funny one. Have the tendency to pronounce the English word white as whitey. This is the answer. Okay. Why? Because the Portuguese language is a consonant vowel language, which means you need to have these elements always, always, always. So if the word white finishes in a consonant, then the speaker, the Portuguese speaker, have the need to pronounce one more vowel, whatever vowel would be, and in this case, it's an E sound. So white. Plus, they do not just add an extra vowel, but also because of that vowel, it suffers from palatalization, and the T becomes ch, y, chi. Next one. El cántaro entero is an example of dentalization. Yes. Why? Because you have dental sounds in cántaro and dental sounds in entero as well. An example of palatalization in Portuguese will be which palata? Curitiba. Curitiba. Yes, they are supposed to say Curitiba, tiba, but they say Curitiba instead. Why? Palatal. The E forces the T to become palatal. Because of that. Okay. So it's not piquinique or bon dia. Oh, bon dia. It should be like this. If this was written like this, then C would be a good answer as well. But it says bon dia there. So, okay. And number 10, which one is the correct transcription? This transcription is not correct because it has the retroflex R there, and the retroflex R is just an allophone. It's not an English phoneme, so it cannot be A. B has the same thing. Retroflex R's are allophones. And D cannot be correct because aspiration occurs in phonetic transcription, never in phonemic transcription. So the answer is C. Do you have a question regarding this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Why? I mean, isn't the R voiced?
The plural part or
Yeah.
the third person part? Very good question. I was expecting that one. Yes, it is. And there is a phonological rule for that. So let me do it. Let me write this. Okay. Just a minute. I'm writing the phonetic transcription now. Do you see the difference? The pluralization rule and the third person rule and the past tense rule applies to phonetic transcriptions as all the other transcriptions that have rules are always phonetic transcriptions. Is it clear?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes. Whenever we have rules, we're talking about allophones because allophones are rule governed. Even pluralization rule, third person singular rule, past tense rules, they apply to phonetic transcriptions, to allophones. Yeah. So the proper phonemic transcription would be this one, restores, like this. And in the phonetic transcription, we write all the modifications that are to be made. I need to add here press mark. Let me do it. Adding the stress mark. Where is it? Cannot see it here. But I will in a minute. Here, I found it.
I don't know about my classmates, but the only thing that made me doubt about C was that I didn't see the stress. And now that you explained it before, I understand what happened.
Okay, okay. So it's connected, totally connected. Yes, you're right. But can you see the difference here? The S turns into a Z because of the R. It's a case of progressive assimilation. Yes. But not in phonemic transcription, but in phonetic transcription instead. That is it. Okay?
Professor, I have one question.
Yes.
There is a aspiration rule that says that when sibilant sounds precede uh the sounds that can become aspirated, they don't become aspirated. Does that happen when the sibilant sound is in word final position, or does it happen in other environments as well?
No, no. I mean, I would need to see an example of that, but I wouldn't say that. My gut reaction would be no, no. Did I answer your question? There are
So
many.
should this word, I mean the T in this word, be aspirated then?
Yes, restores. Yes, definitely. Uh, eh, please pay attention. If we ask a native speaker to separate this word into syllables, they will separate like this. Restore, like this. Not like us, Spanish speakers, that will say restore, like this, or restore, like this. Yes, this is the way they think, okay? It's restore. This is in their brains, inside their language, okay? But whenever we talk about phonetic transcriptions, you need to think in Spanish, because the way phoneticians split words into syllables is like Spanish. So it's like this. Restore. Now, we need to see if the stress mark is in the first or in the second syllable. Restore. Restore. It's in the second syllable. If the stress mark is in the second syllable, and the second syllable, the T, occurs at the beginning of the syllable, then the T must be aspirated. Restore, restore, yeah. Even when the T occurs next to a sibilant sound. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, very good, very good, and very good question. I love it. You know, the part that I like the most about teaching is answering questions. And when I was a student and I was thinking of being a teacher, that was my biggest the thing that scared me the most. What if I cannot answer students' questions? And then I learned the answer. I need to say I don't know when I don't know. Some teachers invent answers, but no, that's not really very ethical. So when I don't know, I don't know. Okay, let's continue. Matching transcriptions. Okay. Okay, so let me put everything in red here. caps, gets, kernels, and screws, like this. Okay. So which word is this one? Cap, like this. And this one, jet, like this. And kernel, it could be kernel like this or kernel like this. Either one is correct. Screw is like this, screw. And then past form, smashed. Let me put in red first. Then I will do the other part. Okay, smashed, differentiated, smacked, and embarrassed, like this. Then this one is smash. If how do you spell that? Differentiate, smack, and embarrass. Like this. Clear? No questions about this? I'll continue then with the rest. There are 4 more. This one and this one. So jeopardizes, inclines, like this. Is it correctly spelled? Incline. Incline. I think it is. I'm not sure. I need to check a dictionary. Occurred. Fact. Tucked. So occurred. Wrong. Misspelled. Occurred. It is. And tucked. Like this. Very good. Questions about plurals or? Yes, Joel. Question? Do you have a question?
No, I just said that incline is well.
It's correctly spelled. Thank you. There we go. And finally, we have phonological analysis. And I was so lazy. I took the exercise from your textbook, An Introduction to Language. I copied and pasted it. Super lazy. Okay. So let me see. A says R, and L, allophones of one phoneme or 2 separate phonemes. I don't know. So let me follow the steps. Step number 1 is minimal pair. Rupee. Is there any other? No, apparently not. Saram, Ratio, Mul, Sul, Ipalsa, Kiri, Irumi, Pal, and Ilkop. There are no minimal pairs. So if there are no minimal pairs, then I need to write the answer is no. Are they in complementary distribution? Let me see. Are there subminimal pairs? Not really. Not really. So probably they are in complementary distribution. But I will not write yes yet. I need to do the T diagram for R and for L. Suppose I did all the T diagrams. I listed the words one under the other, and I saw consistency. I looked for consistency, okay, in my cálculos auxiliares. And what did I find? I found out that yes, they occur in complementary distribution, meaning they are allophones. So I know the answer to number 1 now. They are allophones of one phone. Very good. In what environment does each occur? Well, now that I have finished doing my T diagram, I can know that the R occurs word initially, right? And no, syllable initially and syllable finally. Because in where? No, it doesn't occur at the end.
Professor, it
Yes.
occurs in syllable initial position before a
Uh-huh.
vowel.
Before a vowel. Always before a vowel. Let's check it. This one, ru, occurs syllable initial before a vowel. This one, saram, syllable initial before a vowel. Ratio, syllable initial before a vowel. Kiri, syllable initial before a vowel. Remember, syllable initial does not necessarily start the word. It could be in the middle. Irumi, is this a vowel? Yes, it is. It's a Korean vowel, but it is a vowel. Like that. And the L occurs
That one occurs in syllable final position after a vowel.
syllable fine. Excellent. Position after a vowel. And we have a rule then. Yay. Actually, two rules. If you conclude that they are allophones of one phoneme, state the rule that can derive into phonetic allophonic forms. Okay. Because we have a rule, but we actually have two rules, then we cannot know which one is the phoneme. Because we have a rule for R and we have a rule for L as well. So we don't know which one is the elsewhere. So what can I do? I choose one of them, L or R, and whatever you write there is correct. And then we write when the L occurs and when the flap occurs. We need to tell. How? By writing what was written here in D. Yes, occurs syllable initial. So I need to write the syllable initial symbol, which is syllable initial like this, before a vowel like this, and no, this is the L. Sorry, syllable initial before a vowel, and then the L occurs in syllable final after a vowel. Try this. Let's check if this is correct or not. Okay, do you know the word cala? Cala is a flower. It's in Spanish. Do you know it? Yes? No? Cala is a white flower. Okay, do you know all the Spanish words? Yes, okay. So here we have 4 Spanish words. Sala, portón, cerca, and cala. When Koreans come here in Paraguay and they open their Korean shop, they learn Spanish. They need to learn Spanish because they need to do business, which is perfect. So if we follow we apply the phonological rule, then the pronunciation for them would be Sara, Polton, Pelka, and Cara. Like this. This must be the pronunciation of a Korean person when they are learning Spanish and they apply their Korean phonology into Spanish. Okay, we can predict, which means allophones are predictable. Allophonic rules are predictable. We can predict what is going to happen. We can predict when a word will be aspirated or not. That means allophones are predictable. Yes, and that is a phonological rule. Okay, and that's it. Then, if you conclude, etc., and the exam has finished. Super easy. I could do this in 10 minutes. Well, considering that I did the exam, that's silly. Super silly. All right. Questions? Comments? Are we ready for the final exam and get rid of me already? Yeah. Yeah. I need no. Come on. Yes, 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 Agostina Alvarez. Read, 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 because what I say is not enough. If you are too lazy to read, watch YouTube videos on linguistics and phonological analysis and assimilation. There are so much material. So much material. Okay. More practice. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, I am a YouTuber. I have to. I have to adapt to this pandemic thing. Okay, but I need to get you ready and trained for Professor Romina Bento, because Romina Bento is more demanding than I am, and she needs to give you more full syntactic analysis of foreign languages. So you better learn phonological analysis, because that's the previous step. Okay. No. Okay, so if you have more questions or doubts, make sure you write on the WhatsApp group. I always try to answer your questions there. Okay. I feel so proud when I watch Professor Christopher's videos and he asks questions and he says, yes, you're right. Oh, of course, because the topic, I mean, the subject, Agostina, is not an easy subject. It's highly technical. So feel proud. Feel proud when you do well, because that means you are understanding and you're analyzing. So super, excellent, very well done. Keep doing that. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop recording, and this will be available for you soon.